Now here the question is, a function f satisfies f minus x equals fx and f3 plus x equals f1 minus x, and fx is x when x lies between 0 and 1 and 1 minus 2x when x lies between 1 and 2. Then first is we need to find number of points where f is discontinuous. Now if we look at the second condition, which is f3 plus x equals f1 minus x. Now what we'll do is we'll replace x with x plus 1, then we can write f x plus 4 equals f, and this is 1 minus 1 plus x, so it'll be f x plus 4 equals f minus x, and f minus x is fx, so it'll be this fx. So from here we get this condition that fx plus 4 equals fx, that is this function is periodic with period 4. So this function is periodic with period 4 and it is an even function because f of minus x is fx. Now if we draw this graph from minus 2 to plus 2, this is 0, 1 and 2. Between 0 and 1, this is y equals x. So this is 1, this is 1, and between 1 and 2, at 1, this is minus 1, and at 2, it is minus 3. Now it is included at 1, and it is excluded here, and it is included here. Now this is x, and this is 1 minus 2x. Now since the function is an even function, this graph will be symmetric about y-axis. So here it will be this graph, which is minus x, and here it will be this function, which is 2x minus 1. Now since the function is periodic, we can keep generating this graph. So this is how this graph will be drawn. Now in any one period, there are 2 points of discontinuity. Now in between 0 to 100, there are 25 such periods. So number of points where it will be discontinuous, it will be 25 into 2, and that is 50. So there will be 50 points at which this function is discontinuous. Now we need to find value of this integral from 0 to 100 fx dx. Now we know that this integral from 0 to nt fx dx is n times this integral from 0 to t fx dx. So this integral from 0 to 100 fx dx will be 25 times this integral from 0 to 4 fx dx. Now since this value from 0 to 4 will be same as this value from minus 2 to plus 2, and it is an even function, so we can write this as 50 times 0 to 2 fx dx. Now this is 50, and then between 0 and 1, fx is x, so it will be x dx, plus between 1 and 2, it is 1 minus 2x dx. So we can write this as 50, and this is x square by 2 plus 1 minus 2x whole square minus 4 from 1 to 2. Here it is from 0 to 1. So this value will be 50, and then 1 by 2, and here it will be minus 1 by 4. Now this is 9 minus 1. So it will be 50 into 1 by 2 minus 2, which is 50 into minus 3 by 2, and that is minus 75. So value of this integral is minus 75, and that's your option A. Now here the question is, let f from R to R be a thrice differentiable function such that f1 is 0, f3 is minus 4, and f dash x is less than 0, and let fx equals x into capital Fx, then which of the following statements are correct? Now since f dash x is less than 0, it simply means that fx is a decreasing function. Now if fx is decreasing, we know that 1 is less than 2 is less than 3, then f1 will be greater than f2 and will be greater than f3. Now f1 is 0 and this is f2 and f3 is minus 4. So from here we can say value of f2 is less than 0. Now we look at small f2. Small f2 is 2 into capital F2 and will also be less than 0. So that means this option B, it is correct. Now we'll find f dash x. Now this f dash x will be x into f dash x plus fx. Now we look at f dash 1. F dash 1 will be capital F dash 1 plus f1. Now f1 is 0 and f dash 1 is less than 0. That means this option A is also correct. Now when x lies between 1 and 3, x is positive, f dash x is less than 0, so it will be negative. And this fx, since x is greater than 1, capital Fx is less than f1 and f1 is 0, so this also is negative. So this f dash x is less than 0. So at 1 it will be 0 and then this function, it is going to be a decreasing function. So f dash x, it won't be 0 for any x belongs to 1, 2, 3. So the correct options are A, B and C. Now the next question, if we are given that this integral x square f dash x is minus 12 and x cube f double dash x is 40, then which of the following options is or are correct? Now we'll start with the second integral and say this is I2. We can write this I2 as this integral from 1 to 3 x cube into f double dash x dx, and it is given that it is equal to 40. Now we'll take this as first function and f dash x as second function. We can write x cube and this is f dash x from 1 to 3 minus this integral from 1 to 3 3x square into f dash x dx, and it will be equal to 40. Now this is 27 into f dash 3 minus f dash 1 and minus 3 times, and this x square f dash x integral, it is minus 12. So it will be minus 12 and it will be equal to 40. Now we can write this as 27 f dash 3 minus f dash 1, and this is 36 minus 40 and it will be minus 4 equals 0. Now we know that small f dash x is x f dash x plus fx. So we can write f dash 3 as 3 f dash 3 plus f3. Now f3 is minus 4. So we can write 3 f dash 3 will be equal to f dash 3 plus 4. And we already know f dash 1 is equal to capital F dash 1. So now we'll substitute. So we can write this as 9 and this is f dash 3 plus 4 minus f dash 1 minus 4 equals 0. So it will be 9 f dash 3 minus f dash 1, and this is 36 minus 4 and it will be 32 equals 0, which is 9 f dash 3 minus f dash 1 plus 32 equals 0, and that's your option C. And if we start with this first integral, if we take it as I1, then we can write this I1 as this integral from 1 to 3 x square f dash x dx. Now we'll take this as first function and this is second function, so it will be x square into capital Fx from 1 to 3 minus this integral from 1 to 3 2x into fx dx, and it is given that it will be equal to minus 12. Now this is 9 into f3 minus f1, and then this integral 2 times 1 to 3 x fx dx, and this is equal to minus 12. Now f3 is minus 4, so it will be minus 36. f1 is 0, minus 2. This integral from 1 to 3. Now x fx is small fx, so it will be small fx dx, and it will be equal to minus 12. So we can write 2 times this integral from 1 to 3 fx dx will be equal to minus 24, or this integral from 1 to 3 fx dx will be equal to minus 12, which is your option D. So the correct options are C and D. Now here the questions, we are given this function fx, which is fx equals x, and then plus this integral from 0 to 1 xy square plus x square y fy dy, where x and y are independent variables. We have to find fx. Now what we'll do is we'll write this as fx, and this is x plus, now here variable of integration is y, so we can write x from 0 to 1 y square fy dy, and then plus x square from 0 to 1 y fy dy. Now this is simple definite integral with no parameter, so its value will be some constant, say a, and the value of this integral, it is suppose say b. So we can write this function fx as 1 plus ax plus bx square. Now we need to find the value of a and b. Now we know that a is this integral from 0 to 1 y square fy dy. So we can write this as 0 to 1 y square. Now what is fy? Fy will be 1 plus a into y plus by square into dy. So we can write a as this integral from 0 to 1 plus a into y cube plus b y to the power 4 dy. Now if we integrate this function, we'll get a equals 1 plus a, and this is y to the power 4 upon 4. Now here we'll put y as 1, so it will be simply 1 by 4, and then plus b y to the power 5 upon 5, and we'll put value of y as 1 and 0. So we'll simply get b upon 5. So we can write this equation as 20a, and it will be equal to 5 plus 5a plus 4b. So this equation will be 15a minus 4b equals 5. So this is our first linear equation in a and b. Now we'll write the equation for b. Now b here is 0 to 1 y fy dy. So we'll write from 0 to 1. Now we'll write fy as 1 plus a y plus by square, and we have to multiply it with y. So we'll write 1 plus a y square plus by cube into dy. So it will be simply 1 plus a y cube upon 3 plus b y to the power 4 upon 4. Now we can write this as 12b equals 4 plus 4a plus 3b, that is minus 4a plus 9b, and it is equal to 4. So now we have two linear equations in a and b. Now if we solve these two linear equations, we'll get a as 61 by 119 and b as 80 by 119. So once we have a and b, we can write this function fx. So this function fx will be 1 plus, and what is the value of a? A is 61 by 119x plus b, which is 80 upon 119 x square, and that is the answer to this question. We can also write this as fx equals 180x plus 80x square upon 119. Now here the question is, if f is defined from 0 to infinite to r, and it is given that fx is 1 minus 2x plus this integral from 0 to x e to the power x minus t ft dt, then which of the following functions is or are correct? Now what we'll do is, we write this function fx as 1 minus 2x plus, now we'll take e to the power x out since it is integral in t and not in x. So it will be e to the power x, this integral from 0 to x e to the power minus t ft dt. Now we'll differentiate this function using Newton-Leibniz formula. So we'll get f dash x will be equal to minus 2 plus, now first function as it is, derivative of this function will be e to the power minus x into fx plus this integral from 0 to x e to the power minus t ft dt into derivative of e to the power x is e to the power x. Now we'll write this as f dash x equals minus 2. Now this is e to the power x plus e to the power minus x, which is 1. So plus fx and plus this integral from 0 to x e to the power x minus t ft dt. Now this integral e to the power x minus t ft dt, it is nothing but fx plus 2x minus 1. So we'll write this as f dash x. Now this is minus 2 plus fx, and we'll write this as fx plus 2x minus 1. So we'll get this differential equation, which is f dash x minus 2fx will be 2x minus 3, which is linear in y. Basically it is dy by dx minus 2y equals 2x minus 3. Now we find its integrating factor will be e to the power minus 2 dx, so it will be e to the power minus 2x. So we'll write y into e to the power minus 2x, and it will be equal to this integral e to the power minus 2x into 2x minus 3 dx. Now this is your first function, and e to the power minus 2x, it is your second function. So we can write this as y into e to the power minus 2x, and it will be 2x minus 3, and this is e to the power minus 2x upon minus 2, and then minus, this is 2, and here will be e to the power minus 2x upon minus 2 dx. Now here 2 and 2 will cancel, so we'll write y into e to the power minus 2x, and this is 2x minus 3 into e to the power minus 2x minus 1 by 2, and plus this is integral of this function, so it will be e to the power minus 2x upon minus 2 plus c, which is y into e to the power minus 2x, and it will be 1 minus x e to the power minus 2x plus c. Now if we look at this function, then if we put x as 0, f0 will be 1 minus 0, and this integral will also be 0. So value of f0 is 1. So if we put x is 0 and y is 1, so it will be 1, 1 plus c, that means value of c is 0. So this y, it is nothing but 1 minus x. So your function fx is 1 minus x. So in this question, fx is 1 minus x. Now the curve passes through which point? Now if we put x is minus 1, we'll get y equals 2. So this option B, it is correct. And then area of the region bounded by fx. Fx is 1 minus x. It is less than equal to y and is less than or equal to under root of 1 minus x square. Now we'll plot this region. When x lies between 0 and 1. So first we'll plot this line, x plus y equals 1. So it will be this straight line. This is 1 and this is 1. Now we put origin, then 1 is less than y, which is incorrect. So we need the region which lies on the right of this line. And this second one, if we square it, we'll get x square plus y square. It is less than equal to 1. Basically it is this semicircle. So we are looking for this region which lies inside the circle but outside this line. Now we need to find this area. Now this area will be 1 by 4 area of quarter circle, which is pi r square, minus area of this triangle, which is 1 by 2. So this area will be pi minus 2 by 4, and that's your option C. So the correct options are B and C. Now question number 7 is, let f be a differentiable function such that f of fx is x, where x belongs to 0 to 1, and also f 0 is 1. Find the value of this integral x minus fx to the power 2016 dx. Now we are given that f0 is 1, so we'll put x as 0. We'll get f1 equals 0. So we have this condition that f0 is 1 and f1 is 0. Now let us take this integral as sum I. Now what we'll do is, we'll use substitution and we'll let x as some variable fu. Then dx will be simply f dash u into du. So we can write this integral as fu minus f of fu, and f of fu is simply u to the power 2016, and in place of dx we write f dash u du. Now we'll put in the limits. When x is 0, u is 1, and when x is 1, u is 0. So we can write this integral as minus integral from 0 to 1. Now fu minus u is same as u minus fu, because we have an even power here. So it will be 2016 f dash u into du. Now in definite integral, if the limits are same and if the function is same, we can change the variable. We can write this integral as minus from 0 to 1 x minus fx to the power 2016 into f dash x dx. Now we'll add these two integrals. Now we'll add them. We can write this as 2I, and this is from 0 to 1 x minus fx to the power 2016 1 minus f dash x into dx. Now we have to solve this integral. Now what we'll do is, we'll use substitution. We'll let x minus fx as some variable t, then 1 minus f dash x dx, it will be simply dt. So we can write this integral as 2I equals t to the power 2016 dt, and then we have to write limits also. So it will be 0 minus f0, and f0 is 1. So this lower limit is minus 1, and here it will be this value 1. Now we'll solve this integral. We'll get this as t to the power 2017 upon 2017, and if we'll put the limits, we'll get this as 2 upon 2017. So value of this integral will be simply 1 upon 2017, and that is the answer to this question. Now here the question is, let fx be a non-constant twice differentiable function such that fx is equal to f1 minus x and f dash 1 by 4 it is equal to 0. Now if fx equals f1 minus x, we know that this function fx is symmetric about x equals 1 by 2, and since this function is differentiable function, that means f dash 1 by 2 it must be 0. So this option A, it is correct. Now it is given that f dash 1 by 4 is 0 and f dash 1 by 2 is also 0. So this f dash x, it vanishes at least twice in 0, 1. So this option A is also correct. Now if in this functional equation we'll replace x with x plus 1 by 2, we can write f x plus 1 by 2 will be equal to f. Now this is 1 by 2 minus x. So if we look at this integral from minus 1 by 2 to plus 1 by 2, f x plus 1 by 2 into sin x dx, then if we use the property from a to b fx dx, it is f a plus b minus x. So we'll replace x with minus x. We can write this integration as I equals this integral from minus half to plus half f minus x plus 1 by 2, and this is sin minus x dx. Now f 1 by 2 minus x is same as f x plus 1 by 2. So we'll write this as f x plus 1 by 2. Now if we add them, this is sin x and this is minus sin x. So it will be 0. So value of this integral is 0. So this option C is also correct. Now for this option D, we'll start with this integral which is from 1 by 2 to 1 f 1 minus t e to the power sin pi t dt. Now what we'll do is we'll use substitution. We'll let t as 1 by 2 plus x. Now we can write this integral as, now when t is 1 by 2, x is 0, and when t is 1, x is 1 by 2. So it will be this f 1 minus 1 by 2 plus x. So it will be 1 by 2 minus x, and here will be e to the power sin pi, and it is 1 by 2 plus x dx. Now this is f 1 by 2 minus x, and this is e to the power sin pi by 2 plus sin x. So it is nothing but cos pi x. So it will be e to the power cos pi x into dx. Now if we use the property 0 to a, we can write this as this integral from 0 to 1 by 2. Now if we write this x as 1 by 2 minus x, it will be nothing but it will be fx, and this is cos pi by 2 minus pi x, which is e to the power sin pi x dx, which is same as 0 to pi by 2 ft e to the power sin t dt. So that means this option D is also correct. So the correct options are A, B, C, D. Now here the question is, let f be a real valued function defined on the interval minus 1 to 1 such that e to the power minus x fx 2 plus this integral from 0 to x under root of t to the power 4 plus 1 dt for all x belongs to minus 1 to 1. Now let f inverse be the inverse of f. Then we need to find the value of derivative of f inverse 2. Now we know that if we put x as 0, we'll get e to the power 0, and here it will be f0, and f0 will be simply 2. Now f inverse of fx, it is x. Now if we differentiate this function, we can write f inverse of derivative fx into f dash x, it is 1. Now if we put x as 0, we'll write derivative of f inverse and f0 is 2 into f dash 0 will be 1. So this derivative of inverse function at 2 will be equal to 1 upon derivative of this function at 0. So we need to find the value of f dash 0. Now we'll differentiate this function. If we differentiate this function, we'll get e to the power minus x into f dash x plus fx into minus e to the power minus x, and here will be under root of x to the power 4 plus 1. Now if we put x as 0, we'll get 1 will be f dash 0. Now this is f0. f0 is 2, and then minus 1, and here will be this 1. So derivative of this function at 0 is nothing but 3. So f dash 0 is 3. Then derivative of f inverse at 2 will be simply 1 by 3, and that's your option B. Suppose I have to find this integral, which is 0 to infinite, greatest integral function of 2 upon e to the power x. So what I'll do is I'll draw the graph of y equals greatest integral function of 2 upon e to the power x. Now here my basic graph is y equals 2 upon e to the power x, or I can write y equals 2 into e to the power minus x. So I'll draw this graph. Now I need to take the transformation of greatest integral function of x. So draw horizontal lines at integral points of y. So I'll draw horizontal line at minus 2, and I'll draw horizontal line at 1. I'll mark these point of intersections, and I'll find the corresponding value of x. So if I'll put y as 1, value of x will be ln 2. Now between y equals 1 and 2, draw horizontal line at y equals to 1. Between 0 and 1, draw horizontal line at 0. So the graph in red represents the graph of greatest integral function of 2 upon e to the power x. Now if I have to find this definite integral, I'll just need to find this area. And this area is actually a rectangle. Answer to this question is ln 2. I'll take up another question, and that question is y equals greatest integral function of 2 sin x. Now here again my basic function is y equals 2 sin x, and I'll draw this graph between x equals to 0 and x equals 2 pi. So I'll draw the graph of 2 sin x, and I'll draw horizontal lines at integral values of y. I'll mark their point of intersection. So this is 0, pi, and 2 pi. Now this is pi by 2, and this is 3 pi by 2. Now when I'll put y as 1, I'll get sin x equals 1 by 2, which is pi by 6. From symmetry I can say this is pi minus pi by 6, it will be 5 pi by 6. And this one will be pi plus pi by 6, so there will be 7 pi by 6. And here it will be 2 pi minus pi by 6, so there will be 11 pi by 6. Now I'll draw horizontal lines. So between 0 and pi by 6, it will be 0. Then so the graph in black is actually the graph of greatest integral function of 2 sin x. And now in this graph, they may ask you to find continuity, differentiability, or area, or the value of definite integral. We can find it simply using the graph.
Now there will be questions in binomial series where we need to use integration also. Say for example, question is C0 upon 1, C1 upon 2, C3 upon 3, and Cn upon n plus 1. So what I know is, if I write the expansion of 1 plus x to the power n, then I'll get C0, C1x, C2x square, and then Cn and x to the power n. Now in this case, if I integrate C0, then I'll get C0 into x. If I'll integrate this one, C1 into x square by 2. So I'll get C1 by 2 into x square. If I'll integrate x square, I'll get x cube by 3. If I integrate x to the power n, I'll get x to the power n plus 1 upon n plus 1. So the coefficient that I'll need in the denominator, I'll get it from integration. So what I'll do is, I'll integrate both left hand side and right hand side. So I'll write integral of 1 plus x to the power n into dx. It will be integral of c0 dx, integral of c1x dx, integral of c2x square dx, and then integral of cn x to the power n into dx. Now there are two ways. Either I can use indefinite integral, then I have to use plus c, or I can put the limits. So I'll start with 0. And then for the upper limit, I just need coefficient, sum of the coefficient, not x. So for x, I need to put the value as 1. So I'll integrate it from 0 to 1. So if I integrate this left hand side, I'll get 1 plus x to the power n plus 1 upon n plus 1. Starting from 0 to 1, it will be c0x from 0 to 1, c1x square upon 2, 0 to 1, c2x cube upon 3, 0 to 1, and then cn x to the power n plus 1 upon n plus 1 from 0 to 1. So if I'll put the limit, so if I'll put upper limit, I'll get 2 to the power n plus 1, and then if I'll put lower limit, I'll get 1. So it'll be 2 to the power n plus 1 minus 1 upon n plus 1. So here I'll get c0 into 1. Here I'll get c1 upon 2 into 1, c2 upon 3 into 1, and then cn upon n plus 1. So answer to this series is simply 2 to the power n plus 1 minus 1 upon n plus 1. Now I need to find sum of this series, which is c0 upon 1 into 2, c1 upon 2 into 3, cn upon n plus 1 into n plus 2. Now as the coefficients are in the denominator, I know I need to integrate, right? So I'll start with the basic series, which is 1 plus x to the power n, and this time I'm going to write it in summation form. So value of r varies from 0 to n. I'll be ncr, and there'll be x to the power r. Now I'll integrate left hand side and right hand side. So if I'll integrate it, I'll get integral of 1 plus x to the power n into dx, and then it'll be integral of r varies from 0 to n, and then integral ncr into x to the power r into dr. Now I'll take lower limit as 0, and I'll still need upper limit to be variable. So I'll choose some variable. Maybe I'll say it is some variable, maybe y. So I'll write it as 1 plus x to the power n plus 1 upon n plus 1 from 0 to y. It'll be summation r varies from 0 to n, and there'll be ncr x to the power r plus 1 upon r plus 1, and then again from 0 to y. So on the left hand side, I'll get 1 plus y to the power n plus 1, and then minus 1 upon n plus 1. And on the right hand side, I'll get this series, which is summation r varies from 0 to n, and there'll be ncr y to the power r plus 1 upon r plus 1. So now I have r plus 1. Now I need r plus 2 also. So I need to integrate it again. So I'll integrate it again. So I'll write integral of 1 plus y to the power n plus 1 minus 1 into dy upon n plus 1. And here I'll write summation r varies from 0 to n, and integral of ncr y to the power r plus 1 upon r plus 1 into dy, and I'll take my limits from 0 to 1, because here I need some of the coefficients. So I'll take the limits from 0 to 1. So if I'll integrate it here, so I'll take this 1 upon n plus 1 out, and then I'll have this integral, which is from 0 to 1, 1 plus y to the power n plus 1 into dy, and then I'll have also this minus 1 upon n plus 1 integral of 0 to 1 into dy, and on the right hand side, I'll write this as summation r varies from 0 to n, and here will be ncr upon r plus 1, and then integral of y to the power r plus 1 into dy from 0 to 1. So now I'll start integrating. So here I'll get 1 upon n plus 1, and here will be 1 plus y to the power n plus 2 upon n plus 2 from 0 to 1, and then minus 1 upon n plus 1 into y from 0 to 1, and here will be ncr upon r plus 1 y to the power r plus 2 upon r plus 2 summation from 0 to 1. So if I'll put the value, I'll get it as 1 upon n plus 1 n plus 2 So if I'll put upper limit, I'll get 2 to the power n plus 2 and then minus 1. And here I'll get minus 1 upon n plus 1. And here I'll get summation. R varies from 0 to n. NCR upon R plus 1 into R plus 2, which is the series that I'll need. So C0, 1, 2, C1, 2, 3, and Cn, n plus 1 and n plus 2. So answer to this series is this expression. So I'll simplify it also. So I'll take n plus 1 and n plus 2 common. So I can write it as 2 to the power n plus 2 minus 1 and then minus n minus 2. So it will be 2 to the power of n plus 2 minus n minus 3 upon n plus 1 into n plus 2. So the result of this series is 2 to the power n plus 2 minus n minus 3 upon n plus 1 into n plus 2. So the question is, prove that sum to n plus 1 terms of C0 upon n plus 1 minus C1 n plus 1 n plus 2 plus C2 n plus 2 n plus 3 is equal to this integral, which is from 0 to 1, x to the power n minus 1, 1 minus x to the power n plus 1 dx, and then we'll have to find this integral also. So now what I'll do is, I'll write it as C0 and 1 upon n and 1 upon n plus 1, I'll write it as 1 upon n minus 1 upon n plus 1, because the common difference here is 1. In the same way, I'll write C1 and it'll be 1 upon n plus 1 minus 1 upon n plus 2. For C2, it'll be 1 upon n plus 2 and minus 1 upon n plus 3. And this series will continue up to n plus 1 terms. So I'll take this first series separately. So I'll write C0 upon n minus C1 upon n plus 1 plus C2 upon n plus 2. And then I'll write the second series as minus C0 upon n plus 1 minus C1 upon n plus 2 and then plus C2 upon n plus 3. So I'll write two separate series. Now for this series, I'll take 1 minus x to the power n. So I'll write it as C0 minus C1x plus C2x square minus C3x cube. Now here I'll need C0 upon n. So here the power of x should be n minus 1. So what I'll do is I'll multiply x to the power n minus 1. So if I'll multiply x to the power n minus 1, I'll write x to the power n minus 1, 1 minus x to the power n will be C0, x to the power n minus 1, C1 x to the power n, C2 x to the power n plus 1. Now I'll integrate. So if I'll integrate from 0 to 1, I'll get x to the power n minus 1, 1 minus x to the power n into dx. And if I'll integrate this one, I'll get x to the power n upon n. And if I'll put x as 1, I'll get it as C0 upon n minus C1 upon n plus 1 plus C2 upon n plus 2, which is my first series. Now for the second series, I'll write again 1 minus x to the power n, so which will be C0 minus C1x plus C2x square. Now here I need n plus 1, so I'll multiply it with x to the power n. So if I'll multiply it with x to the power n, I'll write 1 minus x to the power n, C0 x to the power n, C1 x to the power n plus 1, C2 x to the power n plus 2. So now again I'll integrate. So if I'll integrate, I'll write from 0 to 1, x to the power n, 1 minus x to the power n into dx. And here if I'll integrate from 0 to 1, so it'll be x to the power n plus 1 upon n plus 1, and from 0 to 1, it'll be simply 1. So I'll write C0 upon n plus 1 minus C1 upon n plus 2 plus C2 upon n plus 3. So I've got the result for two separate series. Now in order to find the value of this expression, I can write it as first integral, which is from 0 to 1, x to the power n minus 1, 1 minus x to the power n dx, and then minus second integral, which is from 0 to 1, x to the power n and 1 minus x to the power n into dx. Now since the limit is same, so I'll combine it. So I'll write from 0 to 1 and I'll take 1 minus x to the power n common. And then what I'm left with is x to the power n minus 1 minus x to the power n into dx. Now here I can take x to the power n minus 1 also common. So if I take it common, I'll write from 0 to 1 minus x to the power n, and here I'll get x to the power n minus 1, and here I'll get 1 minus x into dx. Now 1 minus x into n into 1 minus x simply will be 1 minus x to the power n plus 1. So I can write this integral as, or I can write this series as from 0 to 1, and then it'll be x to the power n minus 1 into 1 minus x to the power n and plus 1 into dx. So answer to this series will be this integral, which is from 0 to 1 x to the power n minus 1, 1 minus x to the power n plus 1. That was my first part. So 0 to 1 x to the power n minus 1, 1 minus x to the power n plus 1. Now the second part, we'll also need to evaluate this integral. Now let this integral be I. And I know I have to solve it by parts, but then I'll use the property first. From 0 to a fx is from 0 to a fa minus x. So in place of x, I'll write 1 minus x. So I'll write this integral as from 0 to 1 minus x to the power n minus 1, and then into 1 minus x, it will be simply x, and that is x to the power n plus 1 into dx. Now I'll try and solve this question using by parts. So I'll take it as first function, and I'll take it as second function. So if I'll use by parts, I'll write this integral as, now first function as it is, so it is 1 minus x to the power n minus 1. Now integral of x to the power n plus 1, so it will be x to the power n plus 2 upon n plus 2, limits from 0 to 1, and then minus from 0 to 1. Now I'll differentiate this one, so I'll get n minus 1, 1 minus x to the power n minus 2. Now derivative of minus x will be minus 1, and then integral of this function, which is x to the power n plus 2 upon n plus 2 into dx. Now when I put x as 1, so this 1 minus 1 will be 0. And for the second part, when I put x as 0, so this term will be 0. So the value of this first expression will be 0 till the value of n is 1 or greater than 1. So I'll write it as I. Now here minus and minus will be plus. So n minus 1 and n plus 2, they are constant. So I'll take it out. I'll write n minus 1 upon n plus 2. And I'll get this integral as from 0 to 1 minus x to the power n minus 2 and x to the power of n plus 2 into dx. So which is a similar form to the first one, right? So the first one was 1 minus x to the power n minus 1 and n plus 1. Here this power, it has decreased by 1, and here this power, it has increased by 1. So if I'll use by parts again, I'll again get the same result. So what I'll do is I'll use iteration. So this is n minus 1, n plus 2. Next one will be n minus 2, and then n plus 3, n minus 3, n plus 4, and finally in the end, I'll get this series as from 0 to 1. So there'll be this time when this 1 minus x to the power n plus 2, the power will be 0, so it'll be 1. Now this power will be 0 when it is n minus n. So in that case, it'll be n plus n. So then it'll be 1 into x to the power 2n into dx. So this series will continue. So which is n minus 1, n plus 2, n minus 2, n plus 3, n minus 3, n plus 4, and will continue up to. So here it will be x to the power 2n plus 1, which will be 1, and then upon 2n plus 1. So this is 1 into 2 into 3 up to n minus 1. So I can write it as factorial n minus 1. And here, if I'll multiply it with, so this is n plus 2, n plus 3 up to 2n plus 1. So what I'll do is I'll multiply and divide it with factorial n plus 1. Today we'll discuss a very cool question in binomial theorem, and the question goes like 1 into c1 minus 1 plus 1 by 2 c2 plus 1 plus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3 c3, and it goes all the way up to minus 1 to the power n minus 1, 1 plus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3 to 1 by n cn, and we need to prove that the sum of this series is simply 1 by n. Now what I'll do is I'll rearrange the series. I'll take up all the terms which are multiplied with 1. So I'll take all these terms. So if I take all these terms, I can write it as C1 minus C2 plus C3, and then the last one will be minus 1 to the power n minus 1 into Cn. So this is the coefficient of 1, and then I'll take the second series, which is the coefficient of 1 by 2. So I'll have minus C2 plus C3, and again it'll go all the way up to minus 1 to the power n minus 1 into 1 by 2. And this is how this series will continue. And finally, I'll have this term, which is with 1 by n, and that term will be minus 1 to the power n minus 1 Cn into 1 by n. So what I've done is I've rearranged the series as coefficients of 1, 1 by 2, 1 by 3, and 1 by n. So now what I'll try and do is I'll try and write this series as sum a1 into 1 plus a2 into 1 by 2 plus a3 into 1 by 3, and then plus an into 1 by n. And I want to express this a1, a2, a3 in sort of some general formula. So what I'll do is I'll take up any rth term, and for rth term, the first thing that we need to decide is whether this series will start with a positive term or with a negative term. So clearly, if it is first term, then it is positive, second term negative, third term positive, fourth term negative. So that is when the value of r is odd, it starts with a positive term. And if the series is, if the value of r is even, then the series starts with a negative term. So I can write it as minus 1 to the power r minus 1. And then, now for the first term starts with C1. For the second term, it starts with C2. And for the nth term, starts with Cn. So this series will start with Cr. And then with alternate plus and minus, these coefficients, they'll increase. And then finally, it will be, now here it will be minus 1. Now I know that this number is minus 1 to the power n minus 1. But I have already taken this minus 1 to the power r minus 1 out. So that means minus 1 to the power n minus 1 minus r plus 1. So that should be minus 1 to the power n minus r. So I'll write minus 1 to the power n minus r into Cn. So that should be the coefficient of 1 by r. So this is how, so I can write this series as summation ar into 1 by r, where the value of r varies from 1 to n. Now what I'll also do is I'll change these NCRs into NCn minus r. So I can write it as ar, and this is minus 1 to the power r minus 1, and this is n minus r. This is n minus r minus 1, and here it will be minus 1 to the power n minus r, and here it will be C0. So what I'll do is I'll reverse the series and I'll take minus 1 to the power n minus r common. So if I take it common, so I'll write minus 1 to the power r minus 1 minus 1 to the power n minus r. So I can write it as C0 minus C1 plus C2, and then finally I can write it here minus 1 to the power n minus r into C n minus r. Now here minus 1 to the power r minus 1 and minus 1 to the power n minus r, I can simply write it as minus 1 to the power n minus 1 C0 minus C1 plus C2, and it goes up to minus 1 to the power n minus r and C n minus r. Now what I'll do is I'll let this n minus r as some number k. So basically what I want to do is I need to find the sum of this series, which is C0 minus C1 plus C2 minus C3, and go all the way up to minus 1 to the power k into nck. Now how do I find the sum of this series? So what I'll do is I can find the sum when I'm going to multiply 1 minus x to the power n with 1 plus x square x to the power k. So I'll take an infinite geometric progression. So 1x x square, it goes all the way up to infinite. So I can write it as C0 minus C1x plus C2x square minus C3x cube, and then 1 plus x square x to the power k. Now, sum of an infinite GP, it is a upon 1 minus r. So I can write it as 1 minus x to the power n into 1 upon 1 minus x. And here on the right hand side, if I look at coefficient of x to the power k, so when do I get this coefficient of x to the power k? When this x to the power k gets multiplied with C0, when x to the power k minus 1 gets multiplied with C1, x to the power k minus 2 gets multiplied with C2, and when this 1 gets multiplied with x to the power k. So here on the right hand side, I can express it as C0 minus C1 plus C2, and then minus 1 to the power k ck. It is nothing but coefficient of x to the power k. So here I can write it as 1 minus x to the power n minus 1, and here will be C0 minus C1 plus C2 minus 1 to the power k ck, and it is x to the power k. So basically this series is nothing but coefficient of x to the power k in this expansion. So from this expansion, I have to find coefficient of x to the power k. Now in the expansion of 1 minus x to the power n minus 1, coefficient of x to the power k, it is given by n minus 1 ck and then minus 1 to the power k. So in this case, coefficient of x to the power k, we can find from its general term, and which is n minus 1 ck minus 1 to the power k. So this series, which is C0 minus C1 plus C2 minus C3 minus 1 to the power k ck, is nothing but n minus 1 ck and minus 1 to the power k. So it will be n minus 1 ck and minus 1 to the power k. So basically I can write this AR as minus 1 to the power n minus 1, and then it will be n minus 1 ck and minus 1 to the power k, and we have taken k as n minus r. So I'll actually write it as minus 1 to the power n minus 1, n minus 1 c, n minus r, and minus 1 to the power n minus r. So I'll take this minus 1 together. So I can write it as AR minus 1 to the power 2n minus r plus 1, and that should be n minus 1 c n minus r. So minus 1 to the power 2n, so minus 1 square will be a positive number, and there will be minus 1 to the power minus r plus 1. So when r is even, this number will be minus, and when r is odd, this number will be plus. So another way of writing this can be, I can write it as minus 1 to the power r minus 1 n minus 1 c n minus r. So this general coefficient in my series, I can write it as minus 1 to the power r minus 1 n minus 1 c n minus r. So now I can write this series as summation r varies from 1 to n, and AR, which in this case is minus 1 to the power r minus 1 n minus 1 c n minus r, and into 1 upon r. Now what I'll also do is I can write NCR as NC n minus r. So I will actually express it as summation r varies from 1 to n, and here will be minus 1 to the power r minus 1 n minus 1 and c. So n minus r will be r minus 1, and here will be 1 by r. So now if I'll expand the series, I can write it as, so when r is 1, I'll write n minus 1 c0 into 1, then minus n minus 1 c1, and it will be 1 by 2, plus n minus 1 c2 1 by 3, and it will continue up to minus 1 to the power n minus 1 n minus 1 c n minus 1 into 1 by n. Now I need to find the sum of the series. Now what I know is these coefficients 1, 1 by 2, 1 by 3, 1 by n, they appear when we do binomial summation using integration. So what I'll do is I'll take up the series 1 minus x to the power n minus 1. So I can write n minus 1 c0, n minus 1 c1x, n minus 1 c2x square, and then minus 1 to the power n minus 1, n minus 1 c n minus 1 into x to the power n minus 1, and I'll integrate this series from 0 to 1. So if I'll integrate this series, I'll get 1 minus x to the power n upon n, and coefficient of x is -1, so I'll get this minus sign, and it will be from 0 to 1. Here it will be n minus 1 c0, and then x from 0 to 1, minus n minus 1 c1, x square upon 2 from 0 to 1, n minus 1 c2, x cube upon 3 from 0 to 1, and then finally it will be minus 1 to the power n minus 1, n minus 1 c n minus 1, x to the power n upon n from 0 to 1. So if I'll put the value of x as 1, so it'll be 0. If I'll put x as 0, it'll be 1 by n. So on the left hand side, I'll get this value as 1 by n, and here I'll get n minus 1 c0, n minus 1 c1 into 1 by 2, n minus 1 c2 into 1 by 3, and then it'll be minus 1 to the power n minus 1, n minus 1 c n minus 1 into 1 by n, which is the series that I'm looking for. So sum of the series is equal to 1 by n. So answer to this question, 1 c1, 1 plus 1 by 2 c2, 1 plus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3 c3. So answer to this question is simply 1 by n.